I've missed you guys. It's been a while since we've been together because of CABE, but nonetheless, I'm happy to be back and let's get this meeting started. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded, so if you do not want to be recorded, please turn off by pressing the globe button. Oh, wrong. By pressing the camera button. And if you need interpretation, press the globe, but we don't have that. Okay. As a reminder, we are your leadership. I'm Lidia Castro, your president. And we have Gianina Trujillo, our vice president, and Lisa Martinez, our secretary. Welcome to all the schools. Good morning, everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining. Okay, we have some follow-ups that are coming up, seguimientos. We're going to be talking about upcoming testing that's coming. What topics were discussed at your last ELAC meetings? We're going to do a CABE recap. And we're going to talk about some new business. Okay, SBAC. Let's get SBAC on everybody's mind. SBAC is coming. Now, community liaisons, if you could please help me with this. Is this the window of testing for everybody? May 5th through the 23rd, or is that only Twain?
That's correct. That's for everybody.
That's for everybody. Thank you. All right. So our 3rd through 8th graders will be taking the following test. They'll be taking, depending on their grade level, they'll be taking the SBAC, which is the Smarter Balanced Summative Assessment for English Language Arts, Literacy, and Mathematic grades 3 through 8th grade. So everybody who's in the 3rd through the 8th grade will be taking this test, the SBAC. And those dates will be, as we mentioned, May 5th through May 23rd. In that window, all of our students, all of our Lawndale students will be testing. They're also going to be taking the California Science Test, but that applies to children who are in the 5th grade and the 8th grade. That's who will be taking that test.
The 5th and 8th grade will take the science test.
5th and 8th grade. Everybody else will take the SBAC.
English language arts and math.
Thank you, Lina.
Also, if I could add Lydia, the
Yes.
students who are in alternate curriculum, typically our students in our passages program take the California alternative assessment. So in lieu of the SBAC, it's called the CA.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything to add to that? To the testing? Okay. So now we know that the testing is happening. As parents, what can we do for our children to get them ready? We have to make sure that we talk with our children about the test so that they're not scared or anxious. Because a lot of the times with kids, it's just the not knowing of what's going to happen. And because it's a new test to 3rd graders and 5th graders for the science test, we want to put it on their radar and we want to make sure that it's okay. It's just one of these other tests that you're going to familiarize yourself with and you're going to be ready for. And how are we going to familiarize our children with that? If you take a look at the link down here, we can do practice test. So we have californiastartingsmarter.org. This website can give you practice tests for your children. Tell your children that you and your teachers are, and their teachers are both there to help. It takes a community, so we all have to be involved. And if you need additional resources, ask around your school and see what you can do. We have the community liaisons and they're here for that so that we can get you information and resources to make our students thrive. And on your part, parents, make sure they have a good night's sleep, they're well rested, you put some affirmation music on the way to school, and you give them a great breakfast, something of their choice they like, but nutritious. but maybe with something a little extra for them, and maybe notes in their lunches that say, have a great day, you got this, do your best, something motivational for the kids like that, because we know that if kids see that, it helps their mental health and it'll ease them as they take their test. Does anybody have any question about the testing? I'd like to welcome our superintendent to the meeting. She just walked in, Virginia Castro. Thank you for joining us. Okay, today, because we don't have a very full agenda, we do have opportunity to talk. So it's very important that we know what's going on at our sister schools, because they might have some great ideas that we could share with other schools that have not been implemented yet. So from each school, if we have a representative from each school, I'd like to, well, Twain just walked in. Who would like to go first and tell us what they did at their last ELAC meeting and what topics were discussed, please? Liliana, please. Thank you.
We had our last meeting. We just wrapped up our summative LPAC. So we reviewed with the families at Mitchell the summative LPAC is an alternate LPAC and what that looks like for students and teachers have been doing. That was one of the biggest topics.
Because I don't know, about how many of students take the alternate LPAC? Because I'm not familiar with that one.
At Mitchell specifically, we had about 14, 15 students.
Okay.
And then we have students, we had a student at Green who took it, students at Anderson, and then at Jane as well, and Will Rogers.
And can you tell us what would qualify them to take the alternate LPAC?
The students with cognitive disabilities who take the assessment. It's discussed during the, sorry to interrupt, the interpreter can't hear you. Okay. Sorry, do you want to
It's going to be one of those meetings where if you're talking, you get up and join. Those bad.
As I mentioned, it's students with cognitive disabilities, and it's discussed during a student's IEP. And then the decision is made there with the team if the student qualifies for the alternate LPAC. And then typically if a student does take the alternate LPAC, they also take the CAW, as I mentioned earlier, the California Alternate Assessments.
Thank you for that. Any next volunteer? What are you discussing at your ELAC meetings?
We had our meeting at Twain last week.
Please, sir. We just want to make sure everybody can hear. Thank you.
We had our meeting last week at Mark Twain, ELAC meeting, where a larger portion of the time was spent going over CABE and sharing resources among parents. We also looked at the iReady data for ELs, the third diagnostic, and briefly talked about student needs assessment that we'll be sharing out shortly.
Great. Let me ask you another question since I have you here. Is there any issues that your parents are faced with at your school?
Issues? I wouldn't say so. I think they'd always ask more questions. Specifically, ELs with IEPs has been brought up recently. So we're trying to take a deeper dive into like looking at those students and how to better support them.
Okay, thank you for that.
Mhm.
By a show of hands, would that topic be of interest to all the schools? How to be more well-informed on that? No, on the IEPs and the English learners, just what the resources are for that specific group and what we can do for them, since those questions keep coming up. Do those questions come up at other schools?
Our
Yes.
That's pretty much the same. I'm sorry, our ELAC meeting with the EL program and the overview and the support.
Okay. We'll take note of that, see what we can do for the next meeting. Anybody else? Any ideas, anything upcoming at your schools that you want to share with us? Yes, Lila.
Something else that we're going to be speaking on at all of the sites is our needs assessment. So either reviewing the data from last year, if it hasn't been reviewed yet, typically we read at the start of the school year, but just depending on where the site is at, and then getting feedback maybe on the current one we have, and if there's any other questions that parents would like to add. And if I know at some of our sites we agreed that we were going to try to send it right around the week of open house.
Mhm.
Parents have access to that, and then trying to get those results by May 2nd, and then going over there and feedback.
Great. Good, because we have to keep everybody accountable, right? We have to check the progress.
And that's what we discussed at Adams. The results from last year to see how the students are doing so far this year. And probably at the end of the school year, see what the progress was and how many kids were classified. And same thing what you presented earlier at the meeting, the teacher presented the practice test for the LPAD, so parents can support their students ahead of the test. So yes, there are a lot of resources, but I think one thing we're struggling with is bringing parents into the meeting. So I would love to hear ideas from other schools. I know at the middle school level, it's different. I understand that the ideology is different on coming to meetings and being involved, but still we need to find out techniques or ideas or whatever you can share with us to bring parents into our meeting.
Thank you for bringing that up because it is a very important topic. And it was a topic that I was trying to find classes in at Gabe about how we keep getting our parents to come back and to keep coming back and to tell other people about us and how important we are. If the parents don't show up, if our community doesn't show up, it takes away from where we can get for the children. We're here. We're giving you the resources. We're giving you the website addresses so that your children can take these practice tests, so that first generation students and parents are prepared for the testing for their children, so that it's not all new for them. But how do we get them here? If we can just get them here and we can get them to take advantage of those resources, we would be in a much better place. And that was in one of the workshops I participated in. That was my question. How do we keep them coming back? And one of the things that came up was a multicultural fair at a district level so that everybody comes together. This is an idea to introduce everybody to who we are. Not only the Latinos, but multicultural fair that brings everybody from different languages to us. And everybody has a seat at the table. Everybody is there. So if we start with that, showing them what a great event we can do for them and who we are, then maybe we could keep them coming back. Another thing that we have to look at is the timing of our meetings. How is our meeting? I mean, the 9 a.m. meeting works great for stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home parents. It works great for school administration because they're at school. But are we the majority or are we the minority? And we have to be able to keep everybody. So do we have to look at changing our times? What works best? And in another way is, what may work for an elementary time may not work for a junior high time. So we have to evaluate this at a school level to see what changes we can do. Another thing that was brought up was that our meetings, our ELAC meetings sometimes get sidetracked. So we have to stay focused in our meetings on the topics, and we have to discuss topics that, yes, concern our children, but it's overall. Because when we are part of a committee, we're speaking not only for our children, but we are speaking for everyone. Yes, we bring it up because it's just something that affects our children. But let's, as members, let's talk to the community. Is this something how you feel? Or is just this an isolated event? You know, so that we could all be on the same page, and voices are power. So if more people speak about the same topics, then, you know, then we get more attention to those topics. That said, homework. At your next ELAC meeting, please discuss with your parents the timing of our meetings, and whether, you know, maybe if our alerts, or if our could send a message saying, you know, or a survey saying what time would be best for our parents to join a meeting. Yes.
Within our assessment, which is coming out, we're promoting the assessment for the meeting. That's one of the last questions. Yeah, so that's why we need everybody who is in the EL program, all the parents from English learners, to make sure that they complete the survey. Because that's the last question, like what works for you? Morning, afternoon, evening, you know.
Excellent. And when did you say this is gonna come out?
We're promoting it at our open house today. Right, open house, and then at the elementary level, next Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know our alert funded Parent Square for all of our EO families.
Excellent. That's great news. That's great news. Yes.
Do we get to see the participation number? Because I remember 1 year, only 17 parents responded to the survey.
Yeah, you know, I recall hearing about that issue. So what do you guys, what can we do at a school level? How are we going to get those kids to reply? Let's work on the kids. The kids, what are we going to give them? Or slips? Tell your parents to fill this out. I have 2 or slips for you. Let's get the children. The children will do it for the or slips, or whatever it is you do at your school.
That's what we've done. Last year we did a wrap on one of our alerts, went to islands and gift certificates, little certificates, and we, I think having a QR code too also helped.
Okay.
We created a QR code for the survey, and that was a lot easier. And then the students signed the letter, like the parents signed the letter, they return it, and students got like the source slip or slips, and then they were entered into a raffle. And for each grade level, I mean, we had a stack of like the islands gift certificates, and so we entered them into a raffle last year, and that really motivated the students. I don't know how it is at middle school, but elementary, that's what we did.
That's a great idea. Can you get us that contact for those island certificates? No, that's a great idea. Uh-huh.
This year, I'm really trying to promote our source slips, so I think this year we're doing. And I know at middle school it's the care cash. But in years, to add to what you were saying about the questions, I did add it to the needs assessment. But I had done a survey, and I felt like it was the response, the number of responses I was getting, and then the majority was the morning. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, again, motivating the families to fill out these surveys.
Well, we have homework then. We have to figure out how to motivate them. But I think getting the kids is a great way to start. It's a great way to start. Does anybody want to share any successes they've had? What have you done at your school that you guys are really proud of?
At Adams, I I know I have said that it's not a big community of parents showing up, but since the beginning of the school year, it has been strong. The parents that have come to the first meeting have show up every month. So it's consistent, but we need to grow. So I think it's a success because sometimes you get a big crowd and then as time goes on, then you start seeing only a few, or if you're super successful, a handful.
Mhm.
But the consistency I have seen at Adams, the parents that show up for ELAC meetings, I think that's a success. But
That-
yeah, we'll still
That's
need to
great.
work.
That's great. Consistency is good. Consistency is good. When they're very well informed, they can spread the word for us. They can be a partner. So that's great. Twain, I would like to say that I wasn't able to participate in the last meeting, but I did hear through the grapevine that we are going to be having a multicultural fair, and which is something that the parents have been asking for. So we're going to have it. We are going to. Ms. Miranda, did you want to add to that? Since I missed the meeting.
It's late May, I believe. It's being organized by our social worker. She's taking the lead, and it's a whole school is participating, and it will be during the evening time, so that more families can attend.
Excellent. Anything else?
If I could add for Mitchell, similar to and something that our community liaison did was she took the time and printed out the personalized invitations. She hand wrote them. She didn't even know. She hand wrote them, put them in a little envelope, and then at one of the meetings, we asked, I think, the question, "How did you hear about our meeting?" And I'm like, "I got this invitation," and so it was in an envelope. So she's continued to do that. And then another success, which we have a new committee this year. So our president is Brenda. She wrote a letter, which I'm planning on pushing out prior to our next meeting. She wrote a really beautiful letter to the families and then inviting them to attend her. Yeah. And then we did the videos as well, which were also very, our committee did videos, inviting them. So that was really
That's great. Those personal touches go a long way. Yeah, bringing people in. Okay, let's talk about. Let me go back. Let's chat. I did have a question that I didn't talk about. Because we are trying to be as prepared as possible. Miss Julie, can you tell us about how it is that the process goes to elect the board at your school, at the school, or even here, the complete process, like
You mean here in our committee?
in our committee? Yes, because we will have, some schools may have to elect presidents for next year, correct?
Before I do that,
Uh-huh.
I think we have
I just wanted to
special
share some
announcement.
really exciting news. I don't know if you have to.
Please, we want to,
I have to sit in the hot seat.
yeah.
So I just wanted to share,
Whatever you want.
hello, everyone. So I'm not sure if you heard that Anderson was awarded California Distinguished School. So
Yes.
that is such a huge and moment of pride for us. And there's other news that's coming that I can't share yet, but we have some more exciting news. Hopefully will be announced soon. And I just want to tell you as parents, that this is just the beginning, because we've started to see our hard work and the focus on specific groups of kids, especially our ELs, starting to pay off. So I just want to thank you for your efforts and for just your commitment. And, we're tiny but mighty, and just continue pushing out as much as you can information. Let us know what you need. Speaking of personal touches, I love the idea of the handwritten notes. And if you want our principals to do like a phone call or something specifically to invite parents to meetings, I can speak to them about. I actually have a meeting with them at 10 o'clock. So I can share that, parents want you guys to reach out, to write notes, so just let us know what you need. But I just want to thank you, and big celebrations coming. It makes me so happy that we're going to have another multicultural fair. And I love the idea. I was whispering to Liliana, the idea of having a district-wide multicultural fair. that would be awesome. So I'm thinking, where can we do this? We can clear out the parking lot.
Mhm, yeah.
Have tents, have easy ups. So yeah, so thank you guys so much. Do you have any questions for me before I excuse myself?
Just an observation that when I heard the news about Anderson, and I still remember your expression when you said that we have to stop doing the poor me whole. Keep on going with the syndrome of the poor me. Anderson is just the proof of that. It has been like the biggest school, but sometimes they qualify us so far below all the standards probably. And now with that recognition, it brings out that not only it's an effort of the administration, it's a whole community, and it's just amazing. I have seen teachers, and I congratulate them, and it's so amazing that finally they are recognized for their hard work. Yeah, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So no more poor mijo syndromes because our kids are going to college.
Yes.
Oh,
All of
yeah.
our kids.
Yeah.
Which is another idea that I want to plant out there. We should plan a college fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
then
would be great.
It's never too early to
No,
start talking to your kids about college.
no.
So
Before you do leave, I did want to
Yes.
say that I shouted you out at the Cabe Fair with Victor Rios. I told him I said I learned about the at risk, changing it to at promise, and that's why we changed our name from District Learners English Advisory Committee to Community of Multilingual Families. You know, so we went well represented and told them about this and said about this idea and how great it is, you know, to look at it from a positive side. So thank you for those words because I've taken them to heart. You know, we have taken them to heart.
And I want to give you a shout out because did you share about Huntington Library?
Oh,
You have
no,
to
I
share that
didn't.
with them. And
Thank you.
Twain was represented. So I mean, there's so many wonderful things happening. And we need to spread the word, right? So that all of the parents know that this is such a great place to send your kids because we're growing and we're doing great things. So thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
So then
What's-
I'm not gonna let you off the hook, share what you did.
Thanks. Thank you. Yes, last week, Wednesday, I'm not sure if you have heard about the PALS program, the Parent Ambassador Leaders. And what it is, California, Los Angeles, it's a long name, the Los Angeles, the County of Los Angeles Department of Public Health. There we go. It is a program through them where they give parents a stipend for participating in classes and spreading that through your community, teaching your community about these things. And we've been very successful at Twain with this program, and we have been asked to come. I was asked to come and speak at the Huntington Library at a retreat to teach school administration, parents, and even some superintendents were there about the program that we established at Twain. This program, I did not do this by myself. This is a parent effort as well as a school administration effort. There are some parents here that I would like to acknowledge. And Maria, Lisa, if you guys could stand up, they are also part of this success, along with Getsemani and Maribel, who are not here today, but they are also part of that success. And they wanted me to tell everyone about what we did at Twain. And what we did at Twain was that we established a mental health week. It was a mental health spirit week. So every day we had activities. In the morning on Monday, we welcomed our children with affirmation music welcome. So the kids were going in with signs that said, you are brave, you are strong, you can do it. All the words that we want our kids to hear. We also put posters all around our school with affirmation messages. And every day at lunchtime, we had an activity. whether it was write down your core memories and put them on a memory wall, signing the kindness pledge, writing an affirmation message to a friend, that type of ideas, several throughout the week. The last Friday we had on Friday we closed it up. Excuse me, let me back up. Then it was going so great. The parents were talking about it, and it so happened to be that we had our turn at the meeting we have here, at the board meeting. It was our turn to speak at the board meeting. So Mr. Bosler says, hey, Lydia, go talk to them about it. I did. We came, and next thing you know, on Friday, we have our closing, right? So in the morning, we welcome them again with affirmation music. In addition, we have a workshop for our parents on mental health. We want to wrap it all together, right? So we involved our parents, and to our surprise, the board members showed up to the meeting and they loved it. They showed up to that. And Miss Julie also and Liana also showed up, and it was a great success. It was a well-received project, not only by our school administration. Our kids were coming up to us and saying, what's next? What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do this again next week? They were looking for it. And that's what we want, because we want to teach our kids about mental health now. Okay, our kids really don't have mental health. But do they? We need to start teaching them about it so that it doesn't become an issue. You know, we want to address it now so that they have the tools that when they do start facing these things, they already have some tools. They already know what to do. They already know the resources that are out there, you know? So, and we closed it out with that. And at lunchtime on Friday, you guys know the movie Elemental. Inside Out. Ya le cambié. Sorry. Inside Out. We gave them coloring sheets, right? Okay, so first of all, let me tell you a funny story. I got a little bit of time. A funny story. We wore these Inside Out shirts, right? And if you know me and you see me at school, my hair is always in a chongo. It's always on top, and I'm always running around, you know. And I need to get it out of my face, right? And so we tell my little friend Samantha, I said, she's looking at my shirt, and she loves my shirt, and you know, it's all the characters. And she says, and I said, which one do I look like? Boy, bad question. She straight pointed at anxiety, you know, with the one with the hair, and everybody laughed, and she looks like I did something wrong. No, honey, you got it right on, you know, the hair, the shirt, yes, you got it right on, you know. And it was funny, but they were relating, you know, they were looking at. And we gave, Getsemani had the great idea of giving them coloring sheets with all the characters, and they were pulling the characters that they wanted to do. So they were relating, you know, and it gives them an idea. And the parents at the workshop also were able to write affirmation messages to their kids. So we delivered them to the class. So, and the last, when we were taking down the signs, because, you know, you got to make the school look nice. The community, some of our community members said, why are you taking down the signs? I love seeing these signs when I go out for my walk. You know, I love stopping. My favorite is this. My favorite is that. So it was a success all around. And it was something that, in all honesty, it's already built. We already have it, and we can share. We can share, we can give it, we can let you borrow it, just take care of our stuff, you know, but we can let you borrow it, and it's already in place, and I'd be more than happy to help you get it started and kicked off at your school. And I know that my mommies would love to help that too, the mommies that we have. So, so reach out to us. It was great. It was a great honor to represent Mark Twain. We did get, and we got recognized at an elementary level. Another school got recognized at a junior high level. So hopefully, and from that retreat, I found out that Rogers is now being part of it too. And that came from the meeting, the boardroom meeting, from talking. So voices are powerful. And I like what she said, and I like what you said. It's a little bit of us. but they're strong and they're coming back, right? They're showing up, tiny but mighty, because it's true. The same parents are the ones that are always showing up. We always have the same parents doing most, I won't say all, but most of the work. And if we just use our voices to get that out, imagine what we get, how much we can do for our kids. And not only the kids, but for us too. So that was that. It was great. It was awesome. It really was a great experience.
And I think at the volunteer fair at the beginning of the school year, if we have this program still available with the county, we can introduce parents to the program because we have learned what it is and how great it is. But for some of the parents, when they see the information, they don't realize how the great impact that can have in the community.
Absolutely.
I think we can present it and have it out there because it's available for all schools and only a few can sign up from our school.
And you know what? Sometimes you don't have the time. This one, it gives you a small stipend. It gives you something to where you're rewarded for your time. So it's a win-win all around. It really is a win-win for all around. So no, thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about CABE. We just went, we didn't have the meeting last month, but we did assist CABE. It was March 26th through the 29th, and it was a wonderful event. But before I speak, I want to hear what the parents thought about it and the community liaisons and the people who were there. So tell me a highlight of the meeting.
There's 2 more slides and pictures if you want.
Oh, yes. I'll just switch it right now. Who wants to start? Highlight.
It is an experience. Every time it's a different experience. I think it depends on how open you are to learn new things. And I have been, thanks to you, I have had the opportunity to attend CABE several years, and every year I learn something new. And I think the excitement I feel when I go into a workshop is like, I'm ready. It's what I'm going to learn today. And like you said, you can find workshops on the same subjects, but if you open up and say, oh, today I will try something out. And the fact that you can go to workshops with administrators, it is amazing because there is no one telling you that you're not welcome to receive that information. Everybody's welcome. So excited to learn so much and to bring it out to the community. I went to only one day, but I went to 4 workshops that single day. And one of the biggest ones was AI, how we can introduce AI into family engagement. And I can share that information with Ms. Julie, with you, Lydia, and then we can share amongst other schools and take advantage of that. If we see it as a positive thing coming to our lives, we should take advantage of that. And from there, social emotional learning and leadership, it is amazing. So probably most of us here went to CABE, but if there are other parents, it is a great opportunity, and you should find out with your school if you are able to go next year. I don't know about next year because it's not local, but still find out with your schools, and it's a great opportunity to learn so much. And seeing you there, it's also great. When you see familiar faces, like, oh.
We got the same goals. Yeah, we got the same goals. Yeah. Anybody else want to share?
What I love is the parents, some of you, who found me while there and said, oh my gosh, Julie, we have to talk. I just learned, fill in the blank. We have to bring this back. Oh my God. What? So I say, great, bring it. And I think a couple of our friends came prepared for the presentation. I'm not sure, but I saw some kind of board come in. Am I wrong?
Not for today.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
Okay, but
another
did-
time.
Okay, but did you want to share your, so I'm picking on you because you were the one to
Yeah.
present, like, oh my God.
What I'm going to bring is for DELAC because I feel that it's more like for the DELAC meeting. But this more is because we also have for PALS, Autism Awareness Week last week. So we are still we asked the kids to make a puzzle piece. And they could share what they could do for the autism friends in their school. So,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
So this board is for glue all the puzzle pieces together with autism awareness week from Mitchell and everything like that. So also it was wonderful. The kids love it, really, really love it. They were asking us to, you are going to come tomorrow, where we are going to do week and things like that because yes, they love the activities. We have bubbles, we have a lot of sensory activities too because our autism friends, they have sensory issues, so we bring all these things together. And what makes me really, really happy is that also the kids in the Pathways program, they come and they play. And also one of the little girls, he was looking their friend over there and he was like, look at what we are doing. So she asked me, he could play? And I was like, obviously he could play. So the little kid bring the Pathways friend and it was like, okay, I share with you. So it was, oh my God. Yeah.
Yes,
Really, really good.
that's very exciting, guys. Yes, let's talk. Yes, let's talk. Let's talk because see, this is it. She had a successful program. We've had a successful program at our school. We don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. We could just trade. Let's trade. You want my material? I'll use your material. You want my ideas? I'll use your ideas. You know, because then it takes away from all the work behind the time that we don't have to go. The hours that we have to invest into it could be more into the children instead of the preparing. You know, so excellent work. Excellent work. Very good.
Oh, from
Gabi.
Gabi? Yeah, I have some information from here. I went to my highlight. It was like I went to a meeting from the Instituto de Mexicanos en el Exterior. They have scholarships. They have a partnership with the Consulado de Mexico, and they have scholarships. The interesting thing is the scholarship is not just for college; it's for all the grade levels. So maybe you could find, maybe it's not too much, maybe $300, $500, but that's something, right? We could buy books or gloves or something for our kids. So every May they already have all the scholarships for the year. It's for all the grade levels. Because it's the Instituto de Mexicanos en el Exterior is more for helping the Mexican community here in the United States, but they are not just offering a scholarship for Mexicans, they are also helping all the Latino community. And the kids doesn't need to have the doble nacionalidad, so they could just show the inheritance, maybe the acta de nacimiento for parents or something like that, and just with that, and they could have access for these scholarships. So it's really great. So I'm waiting for May, and I could see what they are going to have for us this year. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Brenda.
So I am not prepared, but I would like to share a few things as much as I can remember. The first day for the CABE, I like the quotes that I listened to the opening, what is it called? Like, yes, they were welcoming all the parents. And I like the quote, Spanish is an asset. So I also like the quote, multilingualism is the new American dream. So I don't know where or who got me the idea that we should start introducing these thoughts to the kids in the wall of the school so that they will make a better connection. Oh, ELAC means multilingual. Like, multilingualism is our superpower. So quotes like that, I think that we should start putting in our schools so that kids could relate better. ELAC, multilingual, family, power. Let's do something together. I also went to one of the workshops and they were saying how at schools, especially high school, we don't have a department that will guide better students to go to college or have becas, scholarships. So he was sharing, one parent, Maribel and I were talking to this guy, and he said he's a teacher, he used to teach different grades, but he was saying that he helped this one particular high school student. And just by taking, so to sum up, but just by this student teaching Spanish somewhere, she got a scholarship and she got to get to go to Spain, right, for college. And I was blown away. I was like, just by doing something small, just because this student speaks 2 languages, she could have that opportunity to go overseas. Everything is overpaid and get classes. It's like, how did this happen? Like, I want to know. I want to share with all the parents and take advantage, like use all these resources. So I think that starting from middle school and high school, I think that I would like to have a person in charge in the school to guide, to give all this information to the parents if they, or the student, if they want it, if they need it, if they are interested in doing all of those things. Because I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think we have that person in charge of career, how to guide a student to be successful. I don't think we have that, and I think that we should have that. And I think that was, even though I have a lot of highlights, I think that was like the most important thing that, I heard, something new for me that I heard, and I would like, Longdale Middle School and High School to have that person. What else? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué me estoy olvidando? Also, I should highlight, we also saw, like, they were selling t-shirts that says, "Qué bonito ser bilingüe." I actually, like, I love that t-shirt and I took a picture, and I think that it would be nice to, print it out and like that's how I want to spread to all the kids the idea of multilingualism. We're a family. It's a powerful thing, and we were the ELAC members who were thinking of printing out some T-shirts, and so that the kids could also have it. Like, I don't know, selling. I don't know details, but that was another thing that I really liked. And then at Mark Twain, ELAC, we always talked about like how could we invite parents? How could we create more awareness? So Lisa and I, we order tickets. We ordered totes, pencils that says ELAC Mark Twain, pins that says bilingualism is my superpower. And so hopefully we will get it soon. And so in every like open house or every event that we have for our multilingual families, we would like to give it to the students or the parents so that they will be more aware of how wonderful it is of being part of this community. And so that we could also get new ideas, we could figure out better ways of supporting each other because we're all here for the kids.
And does anybody else want to add something? Yeah. Just, okay, let me give you my take on CABE. It was wonderful, 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 wonderful for everybody. Like some of you said, the idea of bringing all levels together in the same room is very powerful because I know what you know, and I know what I can do, and I know how we can get it done. So it's very important that we're all on the same page, or I know who to ask now. I know, oh, that's a superintendent question. Who do I ask? Oh, my superintendent. Oh, I know where to find her, you know? So it's great how it brings everybody together. The resources are overwhelming. There is so much that we can get that you need just in the exhibition hall, you need 2 days alone to talk to everybody in there to see what you could get. One of the highlights that I thought was El Consulado Mexicano because of the scholarships, because let's be frank, we all need scholarships. We in these times, it's we need it. Everything's expensive and we want to get our kids to college. We want to give our kids extra classes to get them to college. So let's look at these scholarships. So Brenda, can you talk about it at our next meeting when you figure it out? Like maybe you can do a slide and fill us all in on how we can do that. If you could do that for us, please. Another thing that I found great is who goes to Costco and buys books for the summer? Those works, those kindergarten, first grade, second grade, does that cost us $10? $11.99, excuse me. Well, guess what? Let's get them for free. El Consulado Mexicano gives free books to everybody, whoever wants them. So all we have to do is order them and they will send it to your school. This is a multigrado book, okay? But they also have them specifically by grade level. So they didn't have kinder, huh? They didn't have kinder, but they have every other grade level and going forward. And it's free and you can take as many as you want. And, so those are the resources that we should be giving our parents because for a family of 5, you just saved $60, so let's take advantage of resources like this. Now, there's another one that got me super excited about, and I don't have the flyer and I couldn't find it, but I will find it because I know I have it because I saved it. I just don't know where I saved it. But organizada, desorganizada. Something that reminds me. But this was about field trips to the arts for our kids, free through a state bill that was passed. So all we have to do is arrange it. And we can take our kids. They will even pay for the buses. Lorca, thank you. See, I knew somebody would back me up. Gracias, Lisa, the secretary. So these events are going on. Lorca, they have a couple of films that they're going to be presenting, and we as a school can take our dual language kids to this performance for free. So this is something that, adventures. Kids love adventures. Kids love field trips. So this is another resource that we will have ready for you at our next meeting. To give you the information more detailed on that.
They said they always will provide transportation and everything, so I was like, yes.
For free? Yes. Excuse me, did you say for free? And they're like, yes, they confirmed it was for free. So yes. And also because we're a district that we have a lot of dual language students, some of Tanya mentioned this, but some of the resources there, they bring you things like if you pay to get an extra seal of speaking a different language, there's programs that you can pay for that cost you like $50. that maybe you can get a scholarship through the consulate, the Mexican consulate, to pay for this, because those seals will give you opportunities for jobs in the future. And it is something that it's an investment. Oh, so people say $50. I don't have $50, but guess what? Those $50 that you invested 5 years or 3 years ago have now given your daughter or your child the opportunity to go to Spain and teach in Spanish because they have that seal. Just simply because of that. So $50 is nothing, $50, we can find a way to make it $50. We can get $1 donation from each family member, for this, but we got to make it work. We got to, these are the resources that we can get at CABE. And the workshops, they just fill you with information. It's like, I can do this, I can do that. And it teaches you. So you mentioned AI and the workshops in AI, right? This is the new and coming, right? This is what's going to happen next. Ay, Dios mío, AI, it's scary. What do I do? Is that for me? I can't even get into the computer sometimes. It turned off on me again. It happens to me all the time. Gabriel, help me, the computer, something. I just call my husband. Sometimes it makes it, these things get hard, right? But how can we teach our children? How do we keep teaching our children? Well, you don't have to teach them in AI, because you could teach them with sana, sana, colita de rana. You could teach them with, I can't think of the word, songs you teach to little kids, nursery rhymes. You could teach your children with Spanish nursery rhymes. We were discussing about how it's important to maintain our culture and keep growing. So let the teachers teach them about AI, and us as parents teach them about some of the songs that we learned as growing up, como Arroz con leche, Ricky Ran, all of that. La Rata, all of these songs, we can teach our children about our culture. This is something simple. So it reminds you, it takes you back to the basics, and it presents you to the future. And no matter where you're at, it's giving you the tools to teach your children how is best for you. So it's a great opportunity. And you get to socialize with all the parents that are here, that have the same goals, that we have the same visions. And it's a wonderful thing. And then I love seeing people active and like saying, and me, and me, and me, and seeing how people were representing our district. I love that. I love it. I want to be, it's in San Francisco next year. We already wrote it down, but it would be wonderful to be, and I know that we can do it, because tiny but mighty, and we can get the word out to be the #1 loudest school at CABE next year. That should be goals, because all these goals that we have as a district, that's where we find the tools to make those things happen. So keep pushing it. And when you see other parents that you think are a good fit, pretend you're talking to somebody else. ¿Escucharon de CABE? Que también nos fue, to get interest going. Don't just drop it. Let's keep it going. Oh, esto lo aprendí en CABE. That I picked it up over here. Oh, Victor Rios, he was a speaker at CABE. He has these resources. El Consulado Mexicano. Oh, los vi en CABE. Keep talking about it so it gets in their head and they want to participate next year. Oh, there? Oh, yeah. So don't just let it. The time is always. The time is always. So if you didn't go, you missed out. And those that did go, woohoo! Yay! It was well done. And it's 10 o'clock. Can somebody give me ideas of what you guys would like to talk about at our next meeting, please?
Actually, sorry, before we.
Oh, yes, of course.
Parent answer, you can share the link for the free books.
I don't have, it's El Consulado Mexicano, the Mexican consulate. I don't have the link but we can get you more information on it. Yeah, maybe I can, for sure. But we can probably order them at a school level because they said they will deliver them for our kids. So, yes,
Yo tengo información de los, tengo information about the books.
please, Brenda. Mhm.
The books for ordering is just for schools. But if you want for your kids, you just need to go to the Consulado Mexicano and they have a window, a special window for education, and they could give you the books in that window. So you just go to the Consulado, say that you are going to go to the window of education because you are looking for free books. You just need to pass all the security and all that kind of things, and go to that window and ask for the books. That's all you need to do.
Okay, so maybe that's a topic of our next, at our next ELEC meetings. Ask the parents, and then maybe instead of everybody going, because it is a hassle to go to the, like all consulates, but yes, Maria?
Yo tengo el nombre de la persona, su correo, donde los pueden mandarles una solicitud de cuántas cajas de libro quieren y ellos los están mandando free a las escuelas. Por
Okay,
ejemplo, si a cada escuela le interesa tener libros para sus padres, nada más es mandar la solicitud y si les piden, dijo que hicieran 2, 3, 10, 20 cajas las que quisieran, ellos se las están mandando a las escuelas gratis.
yes.
Goodies for ELAC meetings.
Goodies for ELEC meetings?
Yes, because when they come to meetings,
Okay.
here's your free book, look. what
Yeah,
you got.
absolutely. Yes, great. And it's free. And it's free. Next topics for our next meeting, guys? Something you guys want to talk about? If you can't think of anything now, you find me and tell me. We have time to prepare. Let's keep them accountable. Let's keep our schools accountable. This is very important to keep familiarizing yourself with it. Okay? More scores are coming up. Let's keep messing with the California dashboard to see what else we can find out. Mhm. Our next meetings are here, as you know. April meeting's coming up.
There's an update from Mitchell. We had to move it because it's the week of open house, so it's not until May 6th if you can. I don't know, or June, maybe there. Yes. It's the week of open house, so it's May 6th.
May 6th. Okay, and just as a reminder, let's put the times on there, please, on the, let's find out what the times are for all of them. Okay. And any more board meeting presentations? Nothing?
No, I updated the slides and maybe we need to refresh that. Well, I can just tell you. Sorry,
Okay.
I updated the
Mhm.
slides. Tomorrow night, is Anderson's turn to.
Oh,
present
that's
the
great.
spotlight. So if you
Perfect
wanna
timing.
Check out Anderson, come see them. You also get to see me because I'm doing a presentation on a new parent empowerment program. And then on May 1st, it's Adams. So come out and support your school, or at the very least, log into YouTube and watch, or make a request for interpretation for Zoom so that you can hear it in Spanish as well.
Remind us at what time is Julie?
Oh, they start at 5 o'clock, which is a little weird because it starts at 5, then the board goes to closed session, and then they come back. So the meeting itself doesn't sometimes start till 5:30 or so, but you never know. So we end up sitting around and chatting a bit, but it's good for hanging out with friends.
Yeah, it's good for networking and knowing other people. Yes.
And then
We did an
I don't
update.
think I did either. All right, well, we'll send you I'll share with the community liaisons and the alerts, the updated copy and with our officers here so you can see them. But our next meetings are APAC, our African American Parent Advisory Council, on April 24th. Then DPAC, our District Parent Advisory Council, is on April 30th. Then in May, we actually bring together this group, our Community of Multilingual Families, and DPAC, and we hear about the LCAP, the Local Control Accountability Plan that the district is writing so that parents can give feedback and hear about what's happening. And then May 20th is the next Special Needs Family Support Group. And then I think it's May 30th, I'll have to double check, but then we party. We have our end of year celebration. So
Okay.
we'll get that information sent out to you. So busy time. Again, the 24th of April, the 30th of April, the 14th of May, the 20th of May. Lots to come, but we will, and Liliana will help me push out all that information so you know when to come.
With that, I would like to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your dedication, your continued dedication, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank you. Thank you.